If you want billions, begin questioning like a billionaire. Warren Buffett's golden rule, rule no. 1 is in no way lose money. Rule no. 2 is by no means neglect rule no. 1. We clearly try to be anxious when others are grasping and to be grasping simplest whilst others are fearful. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Someone's sitting inside the color today because a person planted a tree a long time ago. Risk comes from not understanding what you are doing. It's best while the tide is going out which you discover who's been swimming naked. Making cash is just a small part of what makes someone actually wealthy. Much of it comes from someone's mentality, how they think about cash, how they think about time, their dreams, and the manner they define fulfillment itself. There are approaches that the great hit approach those matters that are distinct from the common person. But by adopting a number of these intellectual practices of billionaires, and rethinking a few assumptions, a person who is working the 9-to-5 grind can begin bringing in huge cash. Combine those 5 pointers and the unmarried easiest manner to join the 1%, and you'll be on your way to billionaire status in no time. They focus on earning, not saving. Billionaires Man at Desk with Cash. Shutterstock. In his e-book How Rich People Think, Steve Siebold distilled many years of interviews he conducted with millionaires around the world into dozens of recommendations to help guide readers to reframe their mentality. The first difference between wealthy and average, middle elegance focuses on savings. World elegance makes a speciality of earning. He emphasizes that this is in particular authentic in instances of financial difficulty, whilst the economy takes a downturn or while their enterprise takes a hit. Instead of working from fear and making selections centered on protecting themselves, squirreling away as much cash as feasible and no longer making any aggressive movements, the extremely good wealthy see opportunity. Even inside the midst of a coin's drift crisis, the rich reject the nickel and dime deliberating the masses, he writes. They are masters at focusing their mental electricity where it belongs, at the big money. Rich guys are not putting their interest on how much money they have got for retirement, they're searching out how they can turn the cash they have into a long way greater wealth. Having a few side hustles for while the going receives hard will not do any harm either. Check out the one best way to earn money to your spare time. 2. Money is a tool, not a goal. 100 greenback bills, representing savings, which results in the second way that billionaires think in another way than average guys. Sure, they have large financial institution money owed and feature built an excellent pile of cash. But they don't fetishize it, diving into their vault and doing the backstroke through their gold coins, like Scrooge McDuck. They are looking for ways to show it into more money and more opportunities. Money for billionaires is a tool, now not the purpose, says Peterson Teixeira, entrepreneur coach. They're continually locating approaches to make more money and use the freedom that got here with money to make even extra cash. It's a game. An enterprise deal that goes first rate and lands you an additional million greenbacks is well worth celebrating, but you must get right to paintings on coming up with ways to show that million into 2 or 100 million greater. A simple way keep the cash shifting is to invest it, or as a minimum a part of it. Keep an eye on the marketplace, and heed these 20 savviest investment moves to make proper now. 3. Wealth is time, not money. Billionaires guy looking at watch. Shutterstock. Since they do now not get a large kick out of money for its own sake, the first-rate rich see time as the last luxury precise, and they searching for to get the maximum out of the limited amount of it that they have. That means delegating something they don't revel in doing or don't discover fulfilling. With billions, you could rent whoever you need to do whatever you want. However, it additionally means spending their time engaged in thrilling experiences, and squeezing as much pride and pleasure out of the days they've. You can begin incorporating this philosophy into your day-by-day existence these days, even before you hit billionaire fame, with the aid of focusing on the fantastic and minimizing the stresses in your lifestyles. Study up on these 10 ways successful guys cut pressure to get started. Wealth is loving every minute of the exact instances and bad instances as an entrepreneur, ensuring you don't pass out on happiness and love and circle of relatives, and ensuring you spend time exploring this notable planet we name home, says Paul Kirchhoff, founding father of EPX Worldwide, a networking adventure group that organizes elite outings for entrepreneurs and high achievers. It's no longer about how much cash you have, it's about how much expenses you have. You can control your fees, and the level of monetary wealth needed to do what you need is lower, but financial fitness is most effective. One metric. Spiritual and emotional wealth, and the wealth won with numerous experiences is some distance extra valuable. We're all limited by means of time. Billionaires are becoming used to getting whatever they want while they want it, but even a person with Bill Gates' cash cannot stay forever. For their goals are big but few enterprise. Billionaires shuttershock because so much of the everyday duties of a billionaire's lifestyles are delegated to those underneath him. His thoughts isn't centered on heaps of minor desires, but as a substitute the big picture stuff. At any given moment, his to-do list is generally quite short. The minds and desks of the most wealthy tend now not to be cluttered. They don't weigh down themselves with dozens of dreams, non-specific desires, or unattainable desires, says Jeff Campbell, creator of the finance weblog New Middle Class Dad. They generally tend to consciousness on 1 to a few obligations a day, even as also setting desires for the week, month, and 12 months. Rather than a vague intention like, lose weight, the Uber of success could set a specific aim of, lose 2 pounds according to week for 10 weeks. Or they might say, buy an island, or, expand a product that fills a gap within the marketplace. Instead of then going through each step of those massive picture dreams and locating motives why they'll not work, they go away this trouble capturing to others who they trust, and maintain their eyes at the horizon for the next way to make a few more million. Doing one thing very well and knowing a way to delegate are just 2 of the 25 matters rich people continually do. 5 Work is their hobby. Billionaires don't get to in which they may be without a large amount of passion for the projects they are operating on, and work, for them is regularly indistinguishable from vacation. They do what they love, and find methods to make money even as doing it. As Siebold places it, middle elegance earns money doing matters they do not want to do. World magnificence receives wealthy doing what they love. Or, as Jas Kerjelik, president of bodybuilding.com, who works with many high-attaining clients, places it, they ingrain themselves in their commercial enterprise, and make work sense like a hobby. Rich guys don't recognize the idea of work inside the traditional manner of displaying up, installing time, and getting paid for spending time doing something. They recognize that rewards come out of accomplishing something, and offering something it really is in demand. They see steps that need to be taken to attain their aim, however the awareness is constantly at the goal, and the exhilaration they sense while thinking about it. So for billionaires, paintings is lots of fun. But in case you insist you need a few pastimes outdoor of your 9 to 5, at least ensure the video games you play will make you a better guy. Warren Buffett best quotes: be apprehensive while others are greedy, and to be greedy simplest whilst others are fearful. You can't produce a toddler in 1 month by way of getting 9 ladies pregnant. In other words, some things just take time and can't be rushed. Not best as Warren Buffett, an exquisite value investor, however he's additionally an avid supporter of purchase and hold making an investment. To that effect, right here are some of Buffett's great quotes about why buying brilliant shares for the longer term is the smartest manner to move and how buyers should method their funding decisions. Someone's sitting within the shade nowadays because someone planted a tree a long time ago. If you aren't willing to vary own an inventory for 10 years, don't even think about proudly owning it for 10 minutes. When we own portions of superb groups with wonderful managements, our favorite holding duration is forever. An investor have to act as though he had a lifetime decision card with just 20 punches on it. Since I realize of no way to reliably predict market movements, I recommend that you purchase Berkshire shares only if you count on to keep them for at the least 5 years. Those who are searching for short time period profits should appearance elsewhere. Buy a inventory the way you might purchase a house. Understand and like it such which you'd be content to personal it inside the absence of any market. All there is to making an investment is selecting excellent stocks at top times and staying with them so long as they continue to be precise companies. Do now not take yearly results too seriously. Instead, awareness on 4 or 5 year averages. I by no means try to make cash on the stock marketplace. I buy on the assumption that they might near the market day after today and not reopen it for 5 years. It is a terrible mistake for traders with long time period horizons, among them pension funds, university endowments, and savings-minded individuals, to measure their investment risk by way of their portfolio's ratio of bonds to shares.